What's going on, everyone? It's Sideswipes the Boss, and welcome to the first video for my movie slash TV show reviews thing, whatever. And I told you this like a month ago that I would be starting this, so here's my first one, and I will be reviewing the Inhumans TV show. And before we get started, I do want to also again apologize for the audio of this video. If you hear background noise or anything, this equipment I'm working with is not working with me, so I promise better sound quality in the future. But let's get into this TV show review. So, Inhumans, the first season. I believe the season ended about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half. I'm not sure, but it only had 8 episodes because it was a short series, and I understand why. The overall plot was kind of drawn out and it got boring after a little bit. Basically, the show's about the Inhumans, of course. They live on the dark side of the moon, and there are some family issues inside the royal family, and that costs them like freedom or whatever. And they go to Earth for hiding and stuff like that. I've said they a lot, but I'll get more specific as I go along. Yeah, basically they're going to Earth, and Earth's not ready for their return, and basically the royal family and humans have to get back to Adelan, and the plot's drawn out from there, and it's kind of really boring. So the main characters are Black Bolt, Medusa, Maximus, Karnak, Crystal, Trident. I wouldn't say he's a main character, but I'll explain that later. And Gorgon. That's basically the royal family. In the royal family, they're basically facing against Maximus, which is Black Bolt's brother, who's trying to become king himself. You know, it's a little Thor versus Loki in there. I can see where they got that, but then at the same time, it's like, why are you here? And what's the point of this? And I'll get more into detail as I go along with that. But those are basically the main Inhumans. I don't even remember the humans, and I'm not even gonna try to because their point was they didn't have a point in the show. Like basically, if the humans were in there, the show would have probably gotten better. So first we have Black Bolt, played by Anson Mount. Anson Mount, yeah. And by far, he was the best character of the show. And I'm going to explain why right now. Black Bolt, he didn't talk because if you know in the story, went into the mist and came out with every time he talked, there was sonic waves coming out of his mouth and all that. And yeah, so he couldn't talk.
According to our testing, Black Bolt's voice may very well be the most powerful and dangerous gift in all of human history. And I have every reason to believe that as you mature, your power will only grow stronger.
But what does it mean?
It means that your eldest son has the power to destroy all of Adelan on purpose or accidentally. You will never again hear the voice of your oldest son.
But he was by far the best character. Like his facial expressions were like so. Like you could tell what he was trying to say just by his facial expressions. Like I wasn't even paying attention to his sign language because his facial expressions really read. You could really read him and see what he was trying to say or what he wanted to do going forward. But his character was written like it wasn't written well. Like I don't know. he could have had a very, very bigger part in the show, but basically he was just like captured. He was on Earth, no, on Adelan, then went to Earth, was on Earth for a few episodes, came back, and he didn't talk it out. But by far, I say he was the best character because he was he was just great. Anson Mount is a great Black Bolt. His whole face, yeah, his facial expressions were great. Whatever fight scene he had was great. Like, he only had a little bit of fight scenes, but those were really good. Especially like when he faced against, like, I think his name was Mortis. And yeah, that was a good fight scene. I'll give him that. Next, we have the series' main character, but my least favorite character of the show, and that is Medusa, played by Serinda Swan. I don't even know why they had her in here. Like, she was not important at all. Like, she was my least favorite character because she would always go against what Black Bolt would say, and then always had something to say about someone else and not taking responsibility for herself. Like, that's annoying. She barely had any fight scenes. She got her hair cut off the very first episode. Like, how do you get your hair cut off the very first episode? Like, aren't you supposed to be the second most powerful Inhuman next to Black Bolt? Like, that doesn't make sense. And your hair is supposed to be tough, and it got cut off by, like, a shaver or something like that. A hair cutter. Like, that's not good. Yeah, but after she got her hair cut off, I just stopped paying attention to her because she got so irrelevant. The only reason she was there was to take up screen time and was Black Bolt's translator to anyone who didn't understand his sign language. And at the end of the TV show, they tried to make her all important and stuff with her own, like, she had her own say in what happens to Adelan, and that irritated me a lot. Her character really brought the TV show down, in my opinion. Next, we have Maximus, played by Iwan Rheon. I do not know how to pronounce his last name, but he played Maximus. Let me know in the comment section down below if you know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Iwan Rheon, something like that. Yeah, all these actors have weird names, but okay, not weird, just hard for me to pronounce. But he was a mediocre villain. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. His vision was clear, but he did not, like, only the last few episodes when he was really became at least a little bit menacing. Like, the first couple episodes, he was just sitting in a chair talking all day, like, oh yes, I rule Atlant, and oh, the people, yes, fight for the people and stuff like that. And that's he was a politic, not a villain. Only the last few episodes did he actually become kind of menacing to where he was actually part of a threat. Like, his final, like, the failsafe he put reminded me of, like, a Adrian Chase a little bit. Because if he died, the dome around Atlan would be destroyed and all the people would die. So, yeah, that was a little menacing because that reminded me of Adrian Chase from Arrow when he died and Lian Yu blew up. But Adrian Chase is a much better villain. But let's not get off a topic right now. Yeah, but Maximus, he was played all right. He could have been written better, but I feel like Iwan, he did his part, but he could have been more menacing and more threatening to make the series a little bit better. This is going to be my shortest one. Next is Isabelle Cornish, who plays Crystal. That's the princess's name, Crystal. She was also irrelevant, just like Medusa. Like, she had no point in the TV show. For half the show, she was on Adelan, just sitting in her room, staring out the window. And then next, she was with some guy on Earth with her dog. And the dog, by the way, that I forgot his name. Oh my gosh! Like, the dog was better than all the characters, really. Not all of them, but most of them. Like Lockjaw, that's his name. Lockjaw, he was like, I don't even know if it was a he or she, but for an animal, and the CGI on Lockjaw was done really well. So I kudos to the editors for that. Lockjaw, the CGI for Lockjaw was done really well. But like I said, Isabel, she no, like Crystal, no, like you had no point in the TV show. Basically, you could have been written a lot better. Crystal, like I don't even know anymore. Like she was just pointless, very pointless. Her powers were decent, but I don't even know. So next we have Gorgon, played by Ime Ikwakor. I don't know how to pronounce these names, but yeah, Gorgon was a great character. Like he was the second best character for me until Trident showed up, but I'll explain that later. But Gorgon was great. His Ime played a great Gorgon. Gorgon was tough, strong, resilient, funny at times too. Like after Black Bolt, Gorgon would be my best character. He kind of was brought down a little bit towards the end of the series due to some writer issues. I don't know why they did that to him, but he was a great character. He always he would challenge Carmack and Karnak, yeah, and it would just be funny. It was hilarious too. The guys he was with when he first came to Earth, I don't like. I guess that's an understanding of like family or something, but then at the same time, like, why? I don't understand. They bring great characters, but then they bring them down so low. Like I don't understand. But Gorgon was a good character regardless. Next we have Trident, played by Mike Moe. Now he was in 3 episodes of the series, but he still turned out to be a great character. He was in a little bit of the first episode, but he got like shot off a cliff or something, and no one saw him after that until like episode 7. Like that irritated me. Like he's a great character, but everyone thought they killed him off right off the bat. Like why would you do that? He's a part of the royal family and everything, and he's great. I don't know why you would do that. But then he showed his reveal. I was so happy. His fight scenes were, oh my, they were so amazing. Like, he's so skilled and oh my gosh, like, he's so amazing and stuff. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, he come out the shadows and take down everyone. Especially when he fought, well, he didn't fight Maximus because Maximus was down already for the count. But yeah, he was great. His chemistry with Gorgon, it was he didn't have a lot of scenes with him, but whenever he did have a scene with Gorgon, it was some good chemistry. Yeah, it was great, but good job on Mike Moe to make Trident a very good character for the short time he was in the TV show. And my last character to go over is Karnak, played by Ken Leung. His character was brought down a lot after the first couple of episodes. Like, he was great. Like, he's so smart, and like his power set is amazing. Like, he was able to like, when he gets shot, he could go back and make edits to like what he was doing. Not edits, like changes to what he was doing, so he wouldn't like get hurt. And that was so amazing. But after he got hurt, he got down a lot. Like he stooped down low, especially when he was with that girl. Like she brought his moral down. Like she really didn't help him at all try and get better. She just like, it was just for more screen time. But it doesn't really matter though, because he was a decent character. Ken, you did your part. He was at least a little bit well played. His scenes with Gorgon were great. I liked the chemistry between them two. And yeah, Karnak, mediocre character. So now, before I end this, I'm gonna go over the CGI and CGI and everything that was not like a set piece. So, Adelan, it looked all similar to like if you watch The Incredibles, like that lava pit thing, not lava, but it's like a lava wall. Whatever them rock formations were in there, that's what Adelan looked like it was made out of. But it was decent for some editing. Like Adelan did not look bad. Like I said, the CGI for Lockjaw was done great. It was really done good. Like I really like what they did with Lockjaw. Like Lockjaw was so good. Like when he acted innocent, like I couldn't stop smiling because he was great job on Lockjaw editing. The CGI done for Medusa's hair when she first showed up, I don't I don't know, cause it reminded me of the Flash when they first did the elongated man's CGI. Like it's like they didn't put a lot of effort into it, but the Flash CGI was better because they put effort into it, but it still looked like it wasn't. They didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, so they didn't take as much time. But yeah, that's what her hair CGI looked like, and it was not as great as I thought it would. Black Bolt only talked about like one time. I mean twice. And like the first time he didn't talk because he got hit and he grunted and yeah, he made the sound wave that tossed over that police car. But then at the end when he said goodbye, brother, like I wasn't expecting that, but like I thought it was stronger, but it's whatever. I know they didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, but that makes sense on how that happened. So I guess it could work. Some other CGI that was mediocre was Mortis whenever he lifted up his razor. That reminded me of like the I forgot what it was called. The Guardian from Thor that was destroying New Mexico City. Yeah, but the powers were mediocre. I'm gonna just say that they were decent, not too good, but not bad. So yeah, that's what I give it. But overall, this TV show, the first season was not. It wasn't as bad as people said it was, but it's still like it wasn't that good either. Like it was ruined by simple small mistakes that transpired into like the next episodes, and it ruined the TV show as a whole. If some things didn't happen, I would be much appreciated. I would much have appreciated if that happened, but it still had some good scenes. It still has some good scenes, a little bit of good fight scenes. Black Bolt, Trident, Gorgon, and Lockjaw were great. I don't know why I keep saying Lockjaw, but yeah, they were good. They were good characters. Some characters could have been taken out and made the show a lot better, but yeah, it was a mediocre show. I don't know if I would recommend it. Like, if you're bored, you could watch that, but like, I don't know. It's nowhere near the other shows that I like to watch. So I don't know. It was a decent show. I'll give it that. And now my rating system. I rate them out of 5 stars. I do the traditional rating system, so 5 stars the best, 1 star is the worst. And this show I give a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was good at some parts, but small mistakes made it go down at the end. But it was a mediocre show, so I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, what do you think about the show? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you absolutely love it? Or do you think that it was, like me, just a decent, mediocre show? There's a poll at the corner of the video. You can vote there. And let me know what you thought about the show in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. And I will catch you guys later.